Hey everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be all about books that are low rated on Goodreads that I overall enjoyed. So they might not be like a 5-star rating for me, but I still think they're worth the read. I feel like the rating on Goodreads can be so all over the place. A lot of really overhyped, often YA books get like 4.99 overall rating that, I just did not care for them, which I will do a part 2 for that. But also some that I think are fairly decent or even enjoyable for some people get like 3 stars, which is very low for them. And I want to rectify that. So these are a couple books that I think are worth the read. Obviously, I'll be very precise for the kind of people that might enjoy them, but I still think they deserve a little bit of love. Like I said, I will do a part 2 about books that have high ratings that I really didn't care for, because why not? I also think it's interesting that I own a physical copy of all of them. Usually, if you have seen my videos, I do an unhaul video every single year, and I get rid of the books that I really didn't care for or that just don't think I'm going to reread, but all of these I still own a copy, which, all of these have a rating that is in between 3 and like 3.7. It doesn't sound that low, but for Goodreads, I feel like it's kind of low. The first book I wanted to mention is The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. On average on Goodreads, the rating is 3.53, I think, which is low for Goodreads. I feel like if you know, you know. You never see anything basically that is 2 stars. They're just a handful, and I've hated them too, so I couldn't mention them. So this is probably my least favorite book by her. Not gonna lie, but I feel like her worst book is still not a bad book. It's still fun. There's still something to get out of it. I feel like she tends to write really interesting, morally gray female characters. That's her strength, and I love her for it. This is a really short, really strange book. It's about 60 pages, so you don't have, you're not going to waste much time if you don't overall enjoy it. You're following the main character who I believe she reads palms. I read this a couple years ago, and she gets a client who's like really beautiful, rich, and she has trouble with her house, like it's haunted. So if you like haunted houses, weird books, I would pick it up. And she goes there to help her because she's going to get paid, and maybe ghosts are real, maybe not. We'll see. You have to read it to know. I don't want to spoil it. It's so short. But yes, something very different. But once again, her female characters are always interesting, and it's a bit out there, but I overall enjoyed it. I don't think it deserves that low of a rating. So I think I gave it 4 stars. So I mean, for me, 4 stars is definitely great. I wanted to talk about a couple classics. They do tend to get a bad reputation, bad ratings on Goodreads, probably because people are forced to read some in high school and they resent them. I don't blame you, but at the same time, I feel like these two don't deserve to have low ratings. At least I overall enjoy them. The first one is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which, why does it have a 3.56 average rating? I feel like it's not that bad. I overall really enjoyed it. It's also really short. It's about 50 pages. I think it's because it's very different from the movie. I feel like the movie is, well, it's a Hollywood movie, so it's Hollywood, big romance, big feelings, and this one isn't quite like that. It's almost a bit funny. Things are almost the opposite of what happens in the movie. I'm keeping it vague. So if you just want to read more classics, you wanted to see how they compare, I would highly recommend picking it up. I believe I also gave this 4 stars. So it's a fun book for what it is. Is it amazing? Is it 5 stars? Is it something that's going to stay with me forever? No. That I still prefer the Hollywood movie? Yes, but I mean, it's not the same book. They're barely the same thing. So if you wanted to read more classics, it deserves more than 3.56. I'm so insulted. The next one I want to talk about is definitely not the most well-known book by Jane Austen. It is Lady Susan, which, okay, granted, once again, it's fairly short. It's 100-something pages, so I don't feel like it's the most developed story. It's actually written in correspondence. It's letters between a few characters, so I do feel like it's a little bit of a skeleton of a story, which is the case with a lot of shorter books. But I feel like it deserves more than 3.63 average rating. I think I'm probably not super objective, not that anyone reading is objective, but I watched a movie right after, which I think it's Love and Friendship, and the intro kill me. Like, if you haven't seen it, definitely would recommend it. It's a funny movie overall, at least for a classic. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't realize, that Jane Austen, her books are meant to be a little bit funny. She tends to write silly characters. You're meant to not take them seriously. And that's probably why some people don't overall enjoy them. And I feel like this one is a great representation of that. So if you just wanted something light and fun and read more classics, maybe increase your goal, inflate it to hit the number of books you want to read this year, it's a good way to do it. And it's Jane Austen, so the writing is great. Let's talk about more weird books. This is definitely the one that had the lowest rating in this whole video. It's 3.25, so that's really low for Goodreads. The House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Mellerman. Okay, I don't actually blame the people that didn't overall enjoy it because it is weird. And also there's just a very specific reason I overall enjoyed it. So bear with me. You're following two like teenagers or like 17, first love kind of thing, and they go explore a lake, kind of accidentally they find a house at the bottom of it and they decide to explore it, which why I don't get people like this. I just don't. I would go back home and pretend I didn't see it. So if you like feeling super uncomfortable while you're reading and you're looking for that feeling, this is one of the last book that did that to me. Like I don't understand them whatsoever. Like why? But if that's something you are looking for, it does it super well. It's again fairly short, which is probably another reason people don't like it. It's 100 something pages. So if you want something quick, something that will make me and you uncomfortable, I would recommend it. I don't think it deserved 3.25 average rating. Is it one of the best books that I've read? No, but did it do a great job at giving me that weird feeling? Yes. I also wanted to come to the defense of Miranda because she is one of my favorite murder mystery author for the perfect beach read. So they're not 5 stars for me, but I think they're just so easy to go through, and usually all of them are in little towns, which I love the little town feels. I just do. Again, murder mystery, it's perfect. And the one that has the lowest rating that I enjoyed was this one, The Last House Guest, which I don't know if you can tell, but that covers literally everything. You have like raindrops that are 3D. It just works for me, the colors, everything. Anyway, one thing to know about this author, she tends to often play with timelines, which the 2 books I'm going to talk about do. And this one is like 2 or 3 different summers that you're following this main character who works in this small beach town, which again, beach town, summer read, it's perfect. And someone that she knows died in like weird circumstances, and the police is ruling it as a suicide. So she's not convinced it's true. Things start happening and you're trying to piece things together. And I think it's a great beach read because I don't have an issue putting it down. You know, it's not something that you obsessively stay up till 3 in the morning to read, but at the same time, it's overall enjoyable. So for me, it's a solid read. It does not deserve the 3.6 star that it got on Goodreads, so not a bad one. But if you want to start with like her best-ish, in my opinion, I would go with this one. This is All the Missing Girls, who got 3.77, so it's still on the fairly low side. I gave it 4 stars, which isn't super like much higher, but still, I tend to be harsh though, so I feel like if I gave it 4 stars, a lot of people should have given it 5 stars. This one, again, I was saying it's kind of her best because once again, she plays with timelines. In this case, you're following a main character who lives in a small town and there's been a murder, I think 10 years before, and it was never solved, and then something else is happening right now, and she tells it backward. So you follow the main character 2 weeks after, and then each day before that until you understand what happened, which I enjoyed. So again, perfect read for the summer. I feel like I would highly recommend it. It did not deserve 3.77. Definitely something that was pleasant. And if you are looking for more like fun, it's so obviously serious topic, but they're like fast read or light for murder mysteries, I would recommend her as an author, but would definitely recommend this one or the other one for this summer. For some reason, my camera stopped recording. I just wanted to add that I will be linking in the description box whenever I have the other version, whenever I look at books that have high ratings that I personally did not enjoy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting on the screen more videos that I recommend you check out, and I will see you in an upcoming one very soon. Bye.